Hi, and welcome to another video. Today we will be reviewing Jennie's new album, Ruby. So, before a disclaimer I put before every video, please remember this is just and only my opinion, it holds no weight in the world. Ruby as an album is a 15-track album released obviously by Jennie. It is her first studio album since founding her own company, Auditeur, and it is her first more Western album, aka I think she's marketing it as a pop album. These will be mostly my first impressions, aka I will listen to the album. I listened to it 2 times, and some of the songs I listened to it a couple of times due to them being released earlier, but regardless, it's a fresh opinion, it's capable of change, and some songs are just growers in general. So don't take this way too seriously regardless, and I am also capable of changing my mind. That said, let's get started. First song is Intro Jane with FKJ, and to me it sounds like Dollhouse or Music Box music, where those background vocals blended in have the exact same vibe in my opinion. To me, this song has a very distinctive sound, like I'm in a dream, and those vibrations that are in the background sound like someone's fucking alarm going off. Like she's trying to wake us up into listening to her album, but it's still in some kind of dream state, though this could be me just way over analyzing it. I do like it, it's a nice intro. It's not gonna be rated in my overall rating of the album because it's just an intro. I think it does the job, it sets a certain mood whether you like it or not, and I like it. Second track is Like Jennie, and whether you also like it or not, this is probably the main promoted track and the most important track for Jennie herself. The transition between this and the intro is honestly very jarring, but I think it works. It works like a jump. Like when I said in the intro, oh, it's like an alarm waking you up. Well, this is like when you're fully awake. My favorite part of the song is Don't Bore us, take it to the chorus. It's my favorite line. And the entire song is flexing itself, but I think it's done actually very well. I said a million times, I don't like the songs when there's too much flexing, but I like it. The Korean rap sounds really good, and the people who like rap and songs like that are devouring it. So while it's not my type of song, I can admit that it is objectively very well done. The production is to a T, it's a really good song, it's very fun, very in the mood, and I think it sets a great pace for the start of the album. Track number 3, Start a War. The melody and the production of this song to me sound very familiar, but I cannot point out which song it reminds me of, so if somebody knows, please do put in the comments. It's very modern, very trendy, very R&B, which obviously she's trying. I think the fact that she's using a bit of AAV in the song that's supposed to be kind of a ballad, it's a bit strange in my opinion, and the filtering of the vocals is strange, which will be honestly a theme in the rest of the album, but it's a bit almost robotic. I think it's because it's reminding me of a different song, and the way the vocals are produced is why I don't like it as much. I think it's very mid-tier as a song. The most recent single is song number 4, Handlebars featuring Dua Lipa. The music video to me is screaming MTV 80s or MTV 90s, and I think that's really cool. It's neo-soul, which isn't like a genre I expected, perhaps. I don't know, I expected a lot of R&B and rap, and there is a lot of that, but also neo-soul, which is fine. Doesn't mean it's a bad choice. It feels more like a B-side in a K-pop album than a single, but it is the type of song that I personally like and that I always want to be promoted, which is why I'm definitely not complaining. It's a love song, it's a ballad, and the chorus is carrying. Dua Lipa's verse, in my opinion, is kind of low, and I think she wrote her own verse, I checked. So maybe they should have let someone else write it because it's a bit jumpy, like it doesn't match the rest of the song all too well. But in general, it's a song I like. It hits all points for me that make a song enjoyable, which is why I do generally like it. Number 5, with the IE way up, the beat and breaths are already hooking and the song barely starts. Like when you hear that breathing, amazing. I was hooked already. And sampling Jennie from the Block and being Jennie is iconic in way too many ways. It's a great addition because it doesn't feel like she is reminding me there is a better song that exists, a better song that I listen to, which I talked about in my alter ego review, also shameless self promo. I talked about it in my alter ego review when talking about Lisa's Moonlit Floor. Moonlit Floor reminds me that there is Kiss Me that I can listen to. And I am just like, why am I not listening to Kiss Me instead of this? While this doesn't remind me of why am I not listening to Jenny from the Block, because I like it as it is, because I think she remixed it well. The lyrics are debatable, but I don't think this album is the strongest lyrically. But I honestly really like it, even if it isn't my usual style, even if I don't really love the lyrics. It's definitely one of my favorites, and the bridge is a highlight of the song. Like I said, all of my complaints on Flexing Song, all of that, whatever, I would recommend anyone to listen to this song, regardless of what genre you prefer. Extra L with Doechii. I also already talked about this song, but once again, doesn't mean I won't talk about it again. I am, as the walls know by now, not the biggest rap fan, but I do really like this song. The intro is fun, the chorus is catchy and flowy, regardless whether you want to remember it or not, and Doechii absolutely obliterated her part, which is amazing. I like how there is also a thread. One of the topics of this album is woman empowerment, and Jenny is very forward about it. I like how she's going about it. It's not cringy, it feels fun, it feels like someone's actually hyping you up in like your friends at the club way, and I love that. I think it's, once again, one of the highlights. This section of the album, the middle, in my opinion, is genuinely a highlight. Number 7 is Mantra, which when I first heard it, I always thought it was a good song, but I thought it was okay for what it is. It is the most K-poppy out of all of the singles and out of all of the songs, in my opinion. It is the most giving K-pop, but it grew on me exponentially. Like, I thought it was good, but now I think it's great. I really, really like it. I think it's fun, I think it's campy, I think it's, ooh, girl boss energy. Very fun pop song, doesn't try to be more, doesn't try to be anything deep. It serves a purpose. Another one that I would very strongly recommend. Number 8 is Love Hangover featuring Dominic Hike, and in my opinion, this one was also a grower. When I first heard it in January, once again, plugging that video up, I was a bit underwhelmed. I didn't love it. I liked the concept, the way she sung it. I think the way she sings it ultimately suits her voice, but I was underwhelmed. And whether it is because I saw many pretty girls singing it on TikTok, or it's just a grower in general, I like it now. I think it's a lot, it's very above mid now. High decent. It's a pretty ballad. It's one of those songs that when you know the lyrics, when you know them, they hit. And I like that. Once again, this middle part is a highlight of the album, and from here, it kind of goes downhill a bit. Number 9 is Zen, and if you're like, what do you mean Zen is downhill, when Zen is literally everyone's favorite song? And as I said when it comes out, when you listen to the song, it sounds okay. But I think it's more of an art piece. It's an experience with the music video. And without the music video, I think it just falls to okay, which is fine. Okay, songs are good. It's a good song. I'm not saying it's bad in any kind of way. I'm just saying the amazing, mind-blowing thing to me is only when you have the music video in front of you, because the music video is a piece of art. The song itself is good, just not amazing. That's what I'm trying to say. Song number 10 is Damn Right with Childish Gambino and Kali Uchis. I apologize if I said any of that wrong. This is probably my least favorite song of the album. I don't love the fact that the lyrics are full of slang and trendy words, because automatically to me it feels dated. Like, it's new, but to me it feels dated because of how fresh the slang is. And once again, her vocals when she's singing, even in a ballad, quote-unquote, are weirdly filtered, weirdly robotic. And I dislike the chorus because I think it reads a bit cringy. Kali's part is my favorite. It's the highlight of the song. It's the most listenable part. And her voice is very soothing. And I was even vibing with Childish Gambino's part until he said, put a baby in that. And that is my personal ick. I think it can be done right. Like, for example, Sabrina Carpenter's Do Know. But in most songs, to me, that just takes me out and makes me like, ugh. But that's personal nitpick, and I understand that. It's a very R&B song. It's an R&B song. It's okay. I don't like it. not my thing at all, but fits the vibe of the album. Number 11 is FTS, and this is my type of song, more or less. It's a ballad, and even the chorus has like the moans, basically. I'm so sorry. And even if it says F that shit, despite all of those, I still do really like it. I don't think, as I said before, this is a lyrical album. It isn't, but the production and her vocals keep the ballads still very immersive, doing the ballad thing. And I love the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus is my favorite part of the song. The gripe I have with it, why it's not like on top, is because I think it's way too short. Song number 12 is Filter, and the vocals in the beginning, I don't know if anyone is on that side of TikTok, sound like those AI cats singing real songs, and they just go, I don't know if you're on that side of TikTok. If not, I sound insane. I like how the incoming producer tag, like, that makes me feel very K-pop, even though I know it's like incoming doesn't produce only K-pop songs, but it to me feels very K-pop. I like the pre-chorus a lot, even if it's another flexing song, even if it's another song with an innuendo, which I spoke about not liking songs with an innuendo when they feel ingenuine or too much. But in Jennie's case, I think it works very well because it has that like self-love, women empowerment thread throughout, which I think makes the innuendo heavy things work. I think it could have benefited a lot from being longer and having another verse on top of these two verses and the choruses and the pre-choruses. Number 13 is Soul City. It's another innuendo heavy ballad. I'm not sure do I love or kind of dislike her voice for ballads. It's a weird thing to be between. I usually love her songs, like when she's singing live, I think she sounds beautiful and she can pull off many styles. But like I said, once again, for some reason they produce her vocals in ballads so weirdly. Like, I don't know why I keep talking about it, but because it bothers me. And obviously the like the city is a mandatory wordplay for K-pop artists. Like, I think a koala dies if they don't use it or something. It's a very artsy song. I like the lovey and sensual themes, and it certainly has a place and a target audience. And I think a target audience, which are people that have a spicy life, if you can see what I'm alluding to, people who have that, I think it's a beautiful like background song for that, or a song that gets you in the mood for that. So like I said, for the target audience that aren't like K-pop fans and people like that, I think the target audience would love it. I like it. Number 14 is Starlight, and the Korean conversation in the intro is a cute touch, makes me feel a bit jumped back into K-pop. It's my kind of song. I genuinely like it. The inclusion of Novocaine in the lyrics is like chef's kiss. Loved it. I don't like the fact that it halfway through the song it's sped up. I understand why it should have done it. It's good for the song's narrative. I just would have preferred it if it was all slow like in the beginning. But still just as good. And the last song, or the album closer, track number 15, is Twin. And the pain of losing friendships and the grief always hits hard, especially if a song is even halfway good. And this song is good. I love it. It might even be my favorite track on the album. It is sad, it is beautiful. Her vocals are finally free from whatever filter they had it. It's gorgeous, and it's the perfect album closer. Which leads me only to say my final thoughts, opinions, and whatnot. The final rating of this album, based on my scores of each songs, is 7.64 or 7.6 if you would like to round it to 2 decimals, which is good. It's a really good album. It's a strong, very artistic, and Jennie taps into her sensual as well as artistic side, and she reveals something about her that we hadn't known before, which is important for your first album, in my opinion, especially after you had a manufactured, whether you like it or not, many K-pop careers are manufactured, and the fact that solo albums, in my opinion, should reveal something about the artist. Like, for example, Rosé's Rosie, or like Jihyo's Zone. Like, those two albums, I think, are great points for how an artist should reveal themselves in their solo. About Jennie, I didn't know she like the innuendos like that, if you know what I'm implying. And because she had a hand in writing most of these songs and like production, and you can see the artistic value and you can see her passion for the project, I think it reveals a lot of her. But obviously that doesn't mean it's true. Maybe it's just a phrase like that, but I think and I believe from how she's presenting it that she had a strong personal touch on the album, and I love that. If I had to say the biggest flaw of the album, I would say the lyrics. But that is because the lyrics are something I am very nitpicky about in these serious pop albums, quote unquote. The biggest praise I have is the versatility and the fact that most of these songs are consistently good. Like, it isn't an up and down roller coaster or something being amazing, then something being crap. No, I think despite the different genres and of the songs, all of the songs are good. Despite being different, they're still quality remains the same, and that's important. My least favorite songs, or the songs I personally wouldn't listen to again or recommend, are Damn Right and Start a War. And the favorites, or the songs I would highly recommend if you want to pick a song to listen to from this album, is either Twin with the E way up, or even Mantra, but I'm sure everyone has heard of Mantra by now. Overall, I am very pleased with this album, and I can confidently say that even though K-pop fans overhyped it as the best thing since sliced bread, it deserves like 99% of its flowers. Yes, it's overhyped, but it deserves a hype, because it is genuinely one of the best albums, or K-pop albums, or however Jennie wishes to classify it. I respect that has been released in recent times, and I love that. She did amazing, the songs are great, and the aesthetic is great, and I would certainly give it a listen if I was you. I hope this didn't bore you too much, that my rambling on and on wasn't annoying, and thank you so much for sticking around. I will see you in the next one.